JK Bowling at Sunset Lanes this time. I'm with Blake Gates, owner of Night and Day Pro Shop. Tell us a little bit about your pro shop.
We're a mix of old and new school. My dad's a pro bowler in the PBA 50, and whenever he went pro, I learned all this stuff about equipment. It lined up pretty well with an opening here at the alley to lease the space. And then I used all of my experience. I went to the Innovative Bowling Pro Shop School, which is sponsored by a bunch of companies, including Storm. And learned to do all my drilling there like a year and a half to 2 years ago. I've been bowling for my whole life and drilling for like I said, 2 or 3 years.
You're sponsored by Motive right now, right?
Not sponsored, but I am a Motive Maniac program. You can get all your like Motive gear through us at competitive prices, and we do things the right way, like scientifically.
So tell me, Blake, what does PAP stand for?
So your PAP is your positive access point. This is like your genetic thumbprint as a bowler. Everybody's access point is going to be unique to them. You can sometimes have the same as another person, but it's usually unique. Part of what determines how strong a ball is for a bowler, how strong their layout is, where that pin is going to be the distance that I, as a driller, put the pin on the top pin on the ball to the positive access point itself. The first ball that a bowler gets usually isn't lined up for their access point. It's usually their second or third once they kind of get used to things and get going.
The PAP specific for every person, how does it affect ball reaction, ball motion down lane?
Yeah. So if we want to set up a ball to be stronger or earlier for a bowler, we'll move that pin distance along with the PSA locator, which is on an asymmetrical ball if it's asymmetrical. Mm-hmm. We'll change those two numbers, and then we'll adjust the vertical axis line number to create different types of ball shape on the lanes. We all know what a phase 2 is supposed to do, more or less. It's that benchmark shape. But if you want your phase 2 to be a little bit more snappier off the back end, or if you want it to be earlier and smoother, we would adjust the pin to PAP distances and some of the other numbers, including the pin to VAL, to get those results. Right. These are the positive access point is the number one statistic about yourself as a bowler that will make sure that your equipment is correct. It's going to give you the best results, have a better time bowling.
How often, as a pro shop owner, have you seen somebody's positive access point change from, let's say, the beginning of them bowling to the middle to the end?
All the time, especially when we have people who are experimenting with fitment. For myself, I have like 50-something sheets because I'm just trying and trying and trying. I'm always in the lab.
Right.
And I have a different access point for like 3 to 4 of my different fitments. It all has to do with that moment where the ball is releasing from the hand. If you're a thumb in bowler, when that thumb comes out and those fingers come out. Or if you're a no thumb bowler, it's when those fingers come from underneath the ball to releasing out.
Right.
I kind of lost track of my thought.
That's all good. So basically today what we're going to do is, I first came to him when I was planting my foot. I didn't have a whole lot of power. It's getting my hand real around the ball. So my PAP on all of my balls has been that. I think I've made quite a bit of changes to my style and my form. So I'm having him today reevaluate my PAP. He's going to show us exactly how he does it. And again, he just told us why it's important. So let's get into it.
So we've got you warmed up, which is pretty good. It's kind of crucial to always do this when you're warm, not like on your first shot.
Right.
How was the oil looking? Do you feel like you got some oil out there?
A lot less than I feel normally this alley has. Maybe they didn't oil this last one, but
you got some. Do you have a clear track on your ball right now?
Oh, I just swiped it off.
Okay, that's all right.
Let's
that's
see.
Good.
You can kind of see it.
We'll standard striking at first, and then we may modulate a little bit, have you go a little bit left, and land your ball in the soup, almost if you're in a zone that'll never come back. And we'll focus more on the release.
Okay.
And that's kind of like a big thing about getting your access point checked, is that you don't always want to necessarily worry too much about the ball reaction because you don't know what lane conditions you're bowling on. They could be really dry. The main point is that you're putting the ball on line where you're intending, on target, and that you're hitting the release that you like. I always ask my bowlers and tell my bowlers to do their most average release because it's going to be the one that you're using most of the time. Don't give me your late release or your earlier release. I want that one that's your normal relaxed release. Excellent. That's a good way to rally. All right, and so, did you like that release?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, was that about, kind of online what you were looking at? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the oil rings off of this ball. Okay, so I'm going to flash it over to the light, and I'm going to try to find the first oil ring that's closest to the fingers. You can get tricked sometimes if you start over here, so really focus your eyes on this zone. So we got our first one right here. Now Joe here has a heck of a lot of revs, so the reason why we even see oil on this side is because this ball is coming all the way around and checking up against this ring finger. So we really want to make sure that it's as accurate as we can be. That's not too good right here. And it's always the first oil ring closest to that finger.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to take this over to the lab, I guess. All right, so whenever you're taking an access point, for most bowlers with a thumb, you're going to take it from the center of the grip. But since this bowler doesn't have a thumb, we need to establish the center of bridge, which is where we're going to get our PAP from. All right, so now I need to come up halfway through this, which is just under half an inch. Just over half an inch, I should say. And now all access points are going to be over to the side a certain distance, and they're going to be up or down a certain distance. So now that I have this established, we're going to take that line that we made, and we're going to take our armadillo tool and find the first, make this a little easier to see, the first one of these lines that lines up really well with the ProSec tool. And now we kind of saw this tuck in more that way. So we're going to line it up with this one. We come over this way. We notch, or we put our pencil in this notch and make a mark. And that is Mr. Joe's access point here. So now what I need to do is see how high it is. Now, each bowler is different. You know, you might be up and over, or over and up, or over and down. We got 4 3/8. So Joe's access point is going to be 4 3/8 over and 1 inch and 5/8 up. Now, we could stop here, but what we're going to do is grab an average and try to figure out which of these repeat the most and get like a nice, good average for what his access point is to get us some new layouts, because immediately from what I'm seeing here, that's kind of a long pin distance. You know, we're looking at something around like 5 1/4, which that's not bad, but you could you're definitely getting a later motion out of your phase 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's hit it again. Ridiculous.
That was an awful throw.
Miss to the right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I missed to the right. It also came off my hand a little funky.
We'll skip that one. There are a couple other stats that we can take a look at today. We'll nix them if we don't have time, and it's the last two. It's rotation and tilt. You don't rotate as much as you used to, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So we will at least try to get that. I'm going to classify you as low, medium, or high. And then for tilt, we'll do the same. But I think you have a pretty healthy amount of tilt just looking at how sideways your lines are.
Okay. Whole game right there.
Good ball.
That was a lot better compared to that first shot.
Yeah, the same song and dance. We'll do this probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. So you're measuring every single throw, at least good throws?
Yes. And, you know, this is from our more consistent bowlers, and really the shots that we don't want to focus on bad shots, right?
Right.
Since we're kind of like doing a pulse check on you right here, I'm not really going to be asking you too much to like add some rotation, really straighten it out.
Right.
We're just going to try to hit that middle average, but we can also set up PAPs more for like, this is your PAP when you rotate the piss out of the ball, for lack of a better word. Sorry if that has to be bleeped or something.
Yeah.
And I often actually have theories. I have no empirical evidence for this, but like some pros, I have theories that they have like different access points for different balls. At least like a urethane access point versus like a reactive access point.
Right.
But you know, those guys never miss, and when they do, it's ridiculous. Still looks good. Okay.
So
Definitely a little funky on that one. We're still going to take it for the list.
So what are you writing over here?
So the first thing I'm doing is writing the one from earlier.
Okay.
This one is 3/4 over. And you'll find is when we do a lot like these, it's going to give us a few that we can just kind of, that's not normal. We're going to scratch that out. That was something was different on this shot versus the other.
Right.
And the other things I'm going to get that I always get for sure is speed and revs. Because I don't need a camera for that. And then because we have the cameras all set up here, I might get our other camera and use it to for my personal phone.
Right.
And use that to get your axis tilt and rotation, which those are pretty important because they will help us identify specific types of layouts that'll work better than others for you.
Right. Still felt decent. I just missed my mark.
Okay. I'm going to take that one.
Yeah.
A little bit of a miss on the mark, but I feel like everything else is really clean. So we'll at least get like you're up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I was looking to try and find that first one.
Uh-huh.
And if you're ever like, there's like a splotch that'll show up that lets you know where the first one is.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that so that you're not like grabbing any of these lines from when it rotates around to the other side.
Gotcha.
Which that is like a real problem. There's people who would think they have really weird backwards rotating PAPs or whatever. It's just because they're reading the wrong side of the ball. But you know, it's that happens. Are you using like your normal hand position right now? Like,
Excuse me?
Are you using your like normal hand position right now?
Like recently, like I said, I've been not going around it so much, so I'm keeping my hand flat against this X.
Gotcha.
So compared to that first time that I was here, it's not quite the same.
Gotcha. I'm still rolling. I'm gonna throw this. It's a little cheat code because I'm having trouble finding this first line. So I'm putting a bunch of. Don't tell the lane. Putting a bunch of yellow here, so I'll definitely see that first oil ring. Send it.
All right, we can try again. Look at a good one. Flat against that X. I'm not so used to the slick of your guys' floor.
See, I don't understand how anybody slides here at all. I stick every time.
Seriously?
Yes.
Westgate is horrible,
I feel
man.
like my
I
hips are
stick
gonna come out.
every shot there. I overslide here, overslide at Fiesta.
Sure. I start to think about it at like different levels of video games, or
I
like
don't
a
know.
different park in a skate game. Okay, boom, and then we get this really clear,
Man, I found it
really
this time.
defined picture. No guesses. It like makes it really shine right there for you, and then
Little pro shop hack.
there is sometimes like it was here on the last shot. There's like a splotch that'll tell you where the first one is too if you're not sure. That'll show up. And also, you know, I'm not the first to do this. I'm one of thousands upon thousands. There are old heads out there everywhere that are probably criticizing the way I'm doing this, and that's fine because that's how that's supposed to be. Everybody, we gotta constantly criticize each other just enough and appropriately to make advances in the science. I'm gonna get one more from this, and then if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you throw your eye on Max,
By all means.
and then do kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And we'll see where it sets you here.
Okay.
This dang sprayer. There we go. But I will say that, like, definitely getting pretty predictable ball motion out of this. It's long and snappy like a 5-inch pin would be.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a lot more predictable here this time around than it has been the last few times I've been here. I'm not sure why. But again, so the last time I was here bowling, I didn't have my hands so straight up the back.
All good like that shot?
Yeah, I feel good. Just a little light.
Just a little bit.
But from what I'm seeing, it looks like you're tracking it about the same each time,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is good.
Yes. They're all. I mean, I'm looking kind of confused because they're all very different than the first one,
Uh huh.
but you know, it evened itself out. That's why we do multiple.
Yeah.
Always do multiple. Only time you don't do multiple is when a dude just drops the exact same PAP like 3 times in a row, and then even then you're still kind of questioning.
Right.
We're going to call it on this ball because you've now hit a couple of repeaters,
Uh huh.
which is where like I got the exact same number more than a couple times. I got 2 3/4 over 3 times. That's going to weigh in on this averaging pretty heavily.
Okay.
So now we're going to do the Ion Max. I'm going to change pen colors so I don't forget which one I am doing.
The same thing twice.
Okay. That's what I would expect. When watching the phase 2 go flush and pocket and sit real nice and purdy, when you pull out that ball, it should be earlier.
It's going to start hooking instantly.
But that should be enough for us to get what we need off that one ball. And then I will have you throw the other Ion once, just to kind of same thing.
Pro? Yeah.
And that one we know the fingers are like same,
Yeah.
no matter what. So
Yeah, that one feels good, even though the fingers are a little bit smaller. I think like half the size smaller. Road Warrior has been, of course, always nice.
Oh, it's a Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Is that what you have with you today?
Excuse me?
Is that the other ball you have with you today, a Road Warrior?
Yeah, I got a Road Warrior, the Ion Pro. That's the one you were just talking about.
Yes.
But
Either one will work. I
Yeah.
actually prefer the Road Warrior if it's here.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it out.
It's got more differential, so it'll flare more.
Snowplow.
Nice. Love that ball. Always know what it's going to do here.
Yeah,
Smooth.
it's my favorite ball. Even at Westgate. I was telling you though that Ion Max has been good for me, so I've been giving it a lot of hand. Whenever I pull it out, I give it a lot of hand. I move way left. I pull it out on the burnt up lanes. I'm shooting 255s and stuff with that ball from far left.
Nice.
Look at him go, Speedy Gonzalez,
Oh,
fastest pen in the West.
so now I'm going to try to average those out, and then we're going to put a piece of tape on the phase 2.
Okay.
And we're going to get your rotation, and then we'll try to get your tilt if there's time. The tilt, if I remember correctly, we just measure from across the track to see like how wide it is, and then we compare that to some other things that we already know about you, and then that tells us like your tilt level. Right, nice and clean, no other marks. Now this next part might take me a couple seconds
Okay.
because I'm going to do math, and I was never good at that.
That's why he's a pro shop owner.
Less math than you might suspect. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. I did not intend to do that. So all that craziness that I was just doing is like I got these. We averaged those out and then averaged that average against these. It gave us 2 more or less by like 10 thousandths. And then the other one is kind of the same deal. Ends up being 3 over and 2 up after all the averaging, which is the PAP that you're getting on your Road Warrior, like exactly.
Wow.
That's cool. That's good affirmation for what we need. Also helps us move through things. Now,
I'm assuming that's acting as our tape.
yes, sir. So I don't have to run back to the shop. This is, now we're going to do this for the rotation level, not necessarily to check our axis point. They say that if you've got your axis point down really well and you put a piece of tape in that spot, when you go and record yourself, it looks extremely stable off the hand. You can see it skidding before it hooks and rolls, and then it'll come out of where that is.
Okay.
If you have it wrong, it looks like it's like wobbling around. Whenever you're ready. When it comes right off your hand, you see how as that little dot is spinning,
Yeah.
it's not moving at all. But watch when it starts to wobble. Boop, 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 boop. See that?
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's a visual representation of the skid, hook, and roll phasing.
Wow.
So That's one of the first times in a long time that I managed to catch on video that is your access point, like certainly.
Yeah.
Which is not a good brag. That's like not a humble. That's like a, what do you call it? It's not a brag, bro. But it is.
It's a fact, yeah.
This can be tough. Applied science in its own right is its own challenge in any field. Because everything in theory works one way, and then you put it on something and go out in the real field, and it's a little different. I should be able to use this to get your tilt to get your rotation and your rev rate and speed, but we'll also do an eye check on that. Let's have you throw one more.
Okay.
And then I think we're going to get kicked off these lanes.
All right. They're starting to league here.
Yeah.
A bit of a wash there.
And you really do hit it more than others on some of them. Like you get a little bit more revs than probably pushing closer between 425 and 450 rather than being between 400 and 425, if that makes sense. And after bowling, like where you bowl, stuff does not hook as much there, like at all.
No, yeah. Maybe it was just the days that I went, but last time I was here seemed to be really wet.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that I changed the axis on my hand. That's why it's hooking better here. But I genuinely had a good experience with the lane conditions today.
It's fair.
The last 2 times I had, I didn't.
That's fair. All right, cool. So we should be good to go. We can do like the rest of what we need to in my shop.
Sounds good. This has been JK Bowling at Sunset Lanes with
Blake Gates from Night and Day Pro Shop.
San Marcos, Texas. Come visit this shop. It's one of the best I've ever been to. Probably the best I've ever been to in the Central Texas region. Thanks a lot.